Hey, this is Rick Kosalich, injury specialist from exercisesforinjuries.com. In today's video, what I want to go through are 5 daily mistakes that lead to hip pain. Now, Jenna's going to help me demonstrate them. And the first one is your sitting position. So Jenna's going to kind of demonstrate, how your sitting position can be affecting your hip pain. So being hunched over, having poor, sitting posture, crossing the legs over, shifting to a side. All of these things will end up putting greater stress on your hip joint and increase your risk of hip pain. So if you do a lot of office work and a lot of sitting work, make sure that you're sitting in good posture so your hips will be happy. Okay, with number two is sleeping position. So looking at how you end up sleeping, for example, so if you're on your stomach with your knee up, that's something that will end up putting greater stress on your hip. Or if you lie on your side and you're really into that fetal position, that will also affect your hip pain. So things that you can end up doing to improve things are you can sleep on your back, or you can sleep with a pillow between your knees. So those are 2 things that you can try out when it comes to sleeping position and being happier on your hips. Okay, now moving to the third one. The third one's posture. Now this one involves standing posture. So putting all your weight on one leg, relaxing on your hip and popping your hip out. All of these things put greater stress on the hip. So I know a lot of times, like subconsciously people will do this. So like standing on one leg, like other leg like this, or pushing that hip out. All of these things put greater stress on the hip and increase your risk of hip pain. Now the fourth one is not warming up, and this one relates to working out. And with the not warming out part, a big thing I find, and you can really feel it, especially when it comes to walking. So if you start off with walking and you take bigger strides, not crazy big strides, but larger strides, you will feel the dynamic stretching happening in your pelvis and in your hips. So make sure prior to working out and after working out that you do some stretching or dynamic stretching to help loosen up your hips, as that will help decrease your risk of hip pain. Now the last one is diet. So a lot of times with hip pain, why it's related is to arthritis or bursitis, and those 2 conditions are really influenced by diet. So if you eat inflammatory foods like processed foods, dairy, soy, excessive alcohol, all of these have negative effects on that hip joint and lead to inflammation and increase the risk of hip pain. So look at minimizing those things or avoiding those things, or focusing on foods that are anti-inflammatory. Okay, so there you go. There are the 5 daily mistakes that lead to hip pain. If you have hip pain, give those a go. Now, if you want some of my other best tips and tricks when it relates to hip pain, then what I recommend you do is head down below and click the first link, which will be exercisesforinjuries.com/hips. Let me know where to send you that report, and I'll send you that report right away. Now, if you got benefit from this video, make sure to like this video. If you have a question or comment for me, leave it down below in the comment section. And lastly, hit subscribe to get future pain relieving videos.